What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we are doing the running backs and tight ends rankings for right now for this draft. So obviously I was going to do a separate one for running backs and tight ends, but I realized that it was just a little bit undersaturated with the amount of talent that's there. I've realized that like by around like 15, 20 for running backs, it's pretty barren, and by about 8 for tight ends, it was pretty barren as well. So I was like, you know what? Combine the both, and we're going to be able to have a good little 25 set list here. So without further ado, let's get into this. I just want to take a quick note to, like, because obviously the Senior Bowl has been kind of changing things up a little bit, showing us some more. If you guys remember about my wide receivers video, if you guys haven't seen that, check it out. I'm probably going to be moving up Dwayne Eskridge because, dude, I'm telling you, I was telling you guys, I was watching him, I was like, wow, this guy's really good. To me, he's entering this round 2 conversation because this guy runs routes like nobody else. He makes some crazy cuts, amazing releases, former DB as well. You know, it's just, I got to give him a little bit of credit right now. But without further ado, let's get into what you guys are actually here for. Running backs, tight ends. This is going to be a fun video. Starting off with the number 1 in this category, we got Kyle Pitts. This is a pretty easy one. True versatile super weapon right here. And you know what? I mean, I remember seeing this guy and being like, can I dare give a tight end a round 1 grade? And I gave it to him and I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Can we even put tight ends in round 1? And then, because this was before I even started any of this, like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I was like, no, we got to remove him from that list. And then I started seeing him more. I'm like, okay, wow, okay. And then he just became so consistent, super weapon. I mean, he's arguably the best offensive weapon in the class. I think that he might be better than Jamar Chase. He's just so good. I love him to death. Kyle Pitts is amazing. Now, number 2 in this category, ETN. This one I'm a little bit like right here. These 3 running backs I'm a little bit head scratchy on. You know, ETN has shown his highs are higher than both of these guys right here, but his lows I think are also lower than both of these guys. You know, ETN running 1.4 yards per carry against Notre Dame. That's something that you'll deal with in the NFL. Your offensive line's not always going to be top of the country, and you will be going up against some good defensive lines no matter where you go. It's a little bit worrisome to me, but he is a true 3-down back. You can use him in the pass game, run game, return game. He's going to be an instant impact wherever he goes. Alvin Kamara type of guy. He's really good. He's been proving it over a long period of time. I think he hurt his draft stock by going back to school, but you know, he wanted to get a championship and couldn't do it. It's unfortunate. Next one, Javonte Williams. You know, this was a hard one between these two. I'm only putting Williams ahead due to the fact that he's so much younger. And maybe not like, I wouldn't say like so much younger, but I'd say a lot less tread on the tires. Like, even though Najee is a year more into college than he is, he has pretty much about 3 to 4, if not 5 times the amount of carries. So that could be a catch-22, but I think Javonte Williams has shown a lot. Extremely high percentage of broken tackles. You know, he just pops off on tape. He's a really good running back. I love both of these UNC running backs right here. So that's what put Javonte Williams over here at my number 2 running back spot. I was like, we can't really do that. We can't like put him above Najee until you factor that in. So if I'm a team like the Steelers who wants to win right now, maybe I go for Najee. But if we're going to be honest about the Steelers, I don't think we're going to win jack anytime soon. I think it should be honestly a rebuild process. And that's when I just go Javonte. Javonte's going to have a longer career than Najee, but Najee's going to have a much bigger day 1 impact, which I will be doing similar to what I did in my first like 5 videos of all time on YouTube. I'm going to be probably redoing one of those where I have like the impact grade and like all that shit. So keep your ears out for that one. Keep your eyes out for that one. It's going to be coming, maybe not very soon, but obviously when we see more of the combine results and stuff, it will be out. Pat Freiermuth, this is a guy who I just did a scouting report on literally 2 days ago, and I'm considering moving him down a little bit over, not under Brevin Jordan. He's definitely tight end 2 without a doubt in my mind, but there were some really, really big red flags on his tape. You know, I've seen baby Gronk-esque things to him, but I'm not going to lie, this dude straight up looks like he sometimes is in a cartoon from how often he's tripping. It's like, it just seems scripted. He has no balance whatsoever. Some routes he looks amazing. Some routes he really just looks lackluster, which brings into question whether he's actually trying every single play, which might be a character issue. So there's a lot of red flags on Freiermuth. Obviously, he has a lot of potential. We've seen that. You see, obviously, his most famous play is when he trucks over a guy from Memphis and is just plows into like the 2-yard line. You know, that he has some very, very good tape. Otherwise, he wouldn't even be here. Because Brevin Jordan has some good tape too. But there are big red flags. We got to watch out for that. And I became a lot lower on Freiermuth the more I watched him. I think you guys should watch him a bit more as well. Took me like about 5 hours of just watching all of his tape and writing up his report, looking at every little detail, which is a lot of time. But I'm telling you, it gave a lot of perspective on a guy like this, who I was high on, but I was like, kind of disappeared this year. There's a reason why. He's not that great. Michael Carter, I'm thinking about moving. Let's swap these two for right now in our minds. Michael Carter to me is actually the 5th best in the class in this category. Michael Carter is so good. He's super underrated. Obviously, he is older than Javonte Williams, if I'm not mistaken. Javonte Williams is young as hell, but Michael Carter is so agile. He's a bursty running back, and I'm telling you, obviously, in the game against Miami, it's not really a great game to try to test their talent because both the running backs had like 250 yards. But there was a cut that Michael Carter did on a touchdown run, and I'm like, that right there is high-end NFL play. That's like stuff that Saquon Barkley does, where guys are like straight up planted in the grass. I got the hair problem going on right now. We're used to this at this point. It's just there was something special about some of these runs that Michael does, and he's really surprisingly he's not used as much as Javonte out of the backfield, but I'm telling you, I don't think that'll become a problem. I love Michael Carter. I love Javonte Williams. I love these UNC backs. They're really, really good players. Brevin Jordan's next. He's more of an H-back type. He actually has a very similar body type to Derrick Henry. So that's something that I think PFF pointed out. You know, he's really talented. I just have one big issue is that Will Mallory, who is obviously not that great, came in and was almost a seamless transition to where Miami didn't really lose too much of a step. That might be good offensive playmaking, but Brevin Jordan, we might need to just say, hold on a second. I don't know if he's gonna be the next Jonnu Smith here. You know, there's definitely some tape that was like, And I gotta dive in a little bit more into Brevin Jordan just to like confirm or deny my love/hate for Brevin Jordan. But I mean, I'm a huge U fan. I'm not gonna try to hate too much on Brevin Jordan. He does make a big impact when he's on the field. Kenneth Gainwell, you know, he's just somebody who's super young. I mean, look at his redshirt sophomore. As a redshirt freshman, he was a unanimous All-American. You know, he was doing that at a very young age. And I don't think he's nearly as good as a guy like Antonio Gibson. But he is really talented player. You know, he does show flashes. Mel Kiper loves this guy. Even though I have my reserves about Mel Kiper at the moment, Kenny Gainwell is a really talented back. You know, there's a reason why people love him to death. He's super young, has a lot to grow. Definitely somebody in consideration here. Kenny Yeboah, I mean, dude, I love myself some Kenny Yeboah. Just watch his tape from this year at Alabama. I think he was a transfer. Is he not? I'm pretty sure he was a transfer from another uni. He was a Temple transfer. You know, he is old, but I'm telling you, he's really good. I think that he can start day one in the NFL. Just a really talented back. Similar to a Jared Cook in my mind. Just watch that Alabama Ole Miss game at the start of this year. He shows you what he can be. This was a big move up right here, like right before I started this video. I was like, dude, I watched some Senior Bowl stuff. Remember how much I love Demetri Felton in all the drafts I ever talk about him? It's like this dude is straight up James White. I think he's better route runner than James White. We're watching him play in wide receiver versus DB drills, and he's smoking guys like I think his name was Graham from Oregon. He smoked them. It was insane. His route running is amazing. He made Divine Diablo look kind of stupid on what are we gonna call that? We're gonna call that. I don't know what that route is called at the moment. I used to, but obviously not gonna be able to pull it out of my head right now. But Demetri Felton's amazing, guys. I'm telling you, if he goes to a scheme like Arizona, where if they don't want to get Chase Edmonds back, he's gonna be an amazing asset. He's gonna be a straight up day one target. And to be fair, I think that the Broncos should be taking him. That might be a spoiler onto what I like, where I'm gonna be putting him as like my prediction. But I'm telling you right now, guys, like he could be like the next Philip Lindsay. So just saying. Chuba Hubbard's next. He's amazing, but he had a little bit of a fall off. He's had some injury problems. I'm a little bit reserved on him. I don't think the hate is justified, but for right now, I think we gotta halt the brakes on Chuba. The injuries have become kind of an issue. Again, he is pretty young, man, and he has a lot of potential. Really good guy. Javion Hawkins, another guy with a shit ton of potential. You know, this is a guy who, I mean, look how young he is. He's a redshirt sophomore. He's a bursty dude. And he's what, 5'9", 216? or not 260. Whew, that'd be pretty big back. 5'9", 196. Now I'm a little bit concerned about guys who have that type of BMI. You guys can look back in my Twitter history and find that link in the description. But Javion, like guys like CEH, Javion Hawkins, these shorter backs with the big weight, which obviously Javion Hawkins isn't that crazy, but I mean they're just a little bit scary because though that's a lot of stress on the joints and stuff can lead to a lot of non-contact injuries. But Javion Hawkins, I mean he's scary. He's scary fast. I'm gonna be doing a scouting report on him very soon, so we'll check out that. Jamar Jefferson, only put him in here because I read a scouting report on TDN and I was like, wow, that's pretty good. I gotta check him out myself. I can't really comment more on that. Hunter Long, he's not that great, but he is like it's a big jump right here. But he is a pretty talented dude. Boston College does do their good job with their tight ends, and Hunter Long does make a good impact. A couple of years ago, he had one of the highest yards per route run of all wide receivers / tight end, which was then replaced by Kyle Pitts. Ramondre Stevenson, this dude doesn't get enough respect, but he is just a true workhorse. You know, he had a fumble. He has a slight fumbling issue. That's a big problem. But I'm telling you, when he doesn't fumble, he just goes through people. He has great contact balance. I love it. Larry Roundtree just made a big jump as well. He was down here below Khalil Herbert, but Larry Roundtree, I mean, he showed some really good route running skills all of a sudden. I thought of him as just a true power back, something that the Dolphins could use late round if they don't be able to pick up a guy like Javonte Williams or Najee Harris. But I'm telling you right now, Larry Roundtree, he looks awkwardly like a complete back that's a steal later on. Trey Sermon, injuries. He's a really talented back, just injuries. Jarrett Patterson, I need to dive more into his tape. I'm going to be honest, but I never really saw anything that was that special. Even in his 8-touchdown, 400-yard game, I didn't see that much. Tommy Tremble, Notre Dame does a pretty good job with their tight ends. He's going to be a good blocker at least. Michael Mayer looks a lot better than Tommy Tremble, but I mean, Tommy is just going to come out. He's probably going to get drafted in the 3rd, maybe 4th round. I hope he doesn't, but not against him or anything, but I'm saying like for the sake of the draft, but still, you know, it's a Notre Dame tight end. Khalil Herbert, he's super consistent. I don't think that there's anything special about him, but he's definitely someone who could probably make a day one impact, but has like a really low ceiling. Kylan Hill, need to do some more tape study on him. Heard he's kind of like a bowling ball. It's cool. Elijah Mitchell, he's a guy he has some insane runs. I'm not going to lie, but it is Louisiana. We might need to halt the brakes, especially with 2 of his linemen being drafted, I believe, in the top 4 or 5 rounds. You know, obviously it doesn't sound crazy, but when you come from Louisiana, that means that your line's pretty damn good. Puka, I love Puka. He's really bursty. He's a fun guy to watch. You know, this is another huge drop off. CJ Verdell just put up some stats randomly. Might have just been the Oregon scheme that benefited him and not Herbert, but it is what it is. And Miller Forrestall, he's going to be kind of like your shitty Jason Witten, where he doesn't do anything really well, but he catches the ball. So that's going to be the list. Obviously, I didn't want to take too long on that end part, but on the guys who we really know about, want to talk a bit about. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this series. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.